We got we were we were in that resort area. We weren't doing anything, just waiting.
Just wait.
I don't even know we had our guns set up. I don't think we had our guns set up because they said that the Russians were going to take Berlin, and that all the Germans were fighting the Russians. Of course, you'd hear all kinds of horror stories about how the Russians were taking Berlin, that they were putting women on the front of their tanks and coming through Berlin, and so that the tanks wouldn't get blown up and all things like that. But it wasn't long before they told us that what was happening. That it was soon over. I remember the day I went up to the front to see what the troops were doing in the infantry up there. When I got back, as soon as I got back, first lieutenant of one of the companies came looking for me. He said, "I've been looking for you all day." I said, "What's the matter?" He said, "I got one of my men I think's on dope." He says, been acting real strange. He says, I want you to examine him and tell me he's been on dope. I said, "Man, I can't tell you whether he's been on dope." And I said, "I don't know any tests." He wanted to do any tests. I said, "I don't know any tests that I could run on." But I think he thought he was on marijuana or something, a coke or something. I didn't know anything about drugs. I was just, say, about 19 by then. And died. So he was still upset about that guy. He's going to have him court-martialed. Anything else y'all want to know?
I want to know when you came home.
When we came home, okay, they put us on the Liberty ships coming home, and they were about 15 days across the Atlantic. And they were up and down, and running around the ship, I ran into Joe Scanlon. He was on the coming home too. And Joe was a captain, and he was the commander of one of the black battalions that guarded that ran the Red Ball Express. The Red Ball Express was a means that they got the supplies up to the front line, and they were all commanded by blacks. And so he was coming home. But after the war, after the fighting was over up there at the Elbe River, they moved us back, our battalion, back to the town called Mons, Belgium, where we stayed about 6 months. And they started shipping our men home from Mons. And the ones that they went on a point system. If you were married and had children, you got to go home first. Or if you were in a specialty like the doctor, old Sam, well, he was needed in the Pacific. They were still fighting there. So my physician, Dr. Sam, he got called on pretty quick. He got called back to the States, and he was headed for the Pacific, he thought. They were going to give him some more training and then send him to the Pacific. And they told us, the ones that didn't have many points, like myself, that we would soon be following to go to the Pacific. That they'd give us a little training, and we were going to be shipped to the Pacific. But we didn't know that the bomb was going to end all that at that time. But anyway, while we were in Mons, our troops were guarding the Red Ball because a lot of the vehicles would just disappear. I mean, they never know what happened to them. And then what those guys were doing, they were selling those 2.5-ton trucks. Some of them were loaded with gasoline and various other supplies to the Belgians and to the French. And they would take those vehicles and bury them. And so we'd never find them. And they'd sell the gasoline and stuff. And so One day, one of our fellows that was guarding those things had a wreck in a Jeep. Well, they brought him into me in the dispensary. Of course, the guy
You
was
shouldn't have
out.
gotten on my suit in there. That's my best suit.
The guy,
Coat. You crawling all over it, mashing it
the
up.
guy was out, and so when I searched his clothing, he had a roll of $100 bills,
Oh, boy.
about like that. And I said, God, he's on the take. And so he was on the take too. I don't know whatever happened to him, whether they court-martialed him or not. But some of the funny instances that happened is that some of those guys had gotten involved into the black market already. And of course, we knew the ones that were, I knew some of them that were involved in it. But one of them that was a medic, he was married and he had a wife and 2 children in Harkins. And of course, his name came up to go home pretty quick. Well, he was involved in the black market, and I had given him, I think I'd given him 2 microscopes I'd picked up along the way to sell from him in the black market. And so I saw him 1 or 2 times after I'd given him the scopes to sell. And so I went to check on him one day, and I knew his name had come up to go home. Well, that guy had gone AWOL, he disappeared. And so I never got my scopes back. I didn't know where he'd carried them, and he never came back either. So I guess he joined the underground and went into the black market stuff there. Anyway, he went AWOL. He never go. I don't know if he ever got back to Arkansas. But,
Where did you sail from coming back to this country?
no, we sailed from
Lahara?
Lahar. That's what it said. So Lahar, and they got a beach there. It's all gravel. I'd never seen a gravel beach before, but it's all gravel, big old chunks of gravel all over the beach. I wanted to go see the beach. I'd always heard of the beach at Lahar. I looked at it. It was all gravel beach. And
And you came back and landed in New York?
came back and landed in New York. We didn't stay there very long before we were down at Camp Shelby. When I got to Camp Shelby, there was Dr. Parker. I said, I sure am glad to see you, Doc. He said, I heard y'all were coming in. And he met us there at Camp Shelby. And so he knew I had scrounged a bunch of stuff. And he said, you better let me take this stuff over to my quarters because somebody will steal them from me. I had my Luger and, I don't know, 2 or 3 other things.
Dress sword.
Yeah, I had my dress dagger and
Dagger, yeah.
a couple other things. And I think before I got away from this, somebody did get 2 cameras that I didn't give him. I had 2 cameras I picked up. They were nice cameras. But somebody got those, took away from him down at Camp Shelby. But we were glad to see him. And that's when he came up to visit us from when he was stationed down there. He came up here on the weekend and get up. But he didn't get out of the army as quick as he thought he would. We got out before he did. He thought he'd get, but I guess when they got back to the States, they were so short of doctors, when people discharged, they called him into there.
What was Camp Shelby like?
Like then,
Yeah, back
rough,
then.
rough.
Terrible.
It was a beat up, wore out place when we were there. I had been down there now to see what it looked like. But at Camp Shelby was the only place I ever served KP. I served it one day. And they gave me a job of peeling potatoes. That's the only job I did.
That's why you did such a good job last night.
Yeah.
And
I peeled potatoes there one day on KP duty. Of course, we hadn't even had any Army experience at all. Bobby Brady and I was down there about the same time. I think he was in a different outfit than I was.
Did you meet Joe Ayuk down there too?
No, I met Joe Ayuk in
California.
California. I'd heard he was out there. He was in the Air Force, I think. He was across the street in Marshfield, and I heard broken his leg and was in some hospital, so I went and visited him in the hospital while I was out there.
That saved him from going overseas.
When we were in Mons, Belgium, a lot of things happened in Mons, in Belgium. We went to Brussels every weekend. They had all, just about every weekend it was, so there wasn't much going on. But there was a lot going on in Mons.
Were you in any parades coming home?
They had an officers, a bar. I don't know what it's called, a bar, that's what it was, a bar in downtown. And of course we had they had the enlisted men had their own pub too we went to. But we ate out most of our meals at that, there was a beer garden we took over. And they took over a bar downtown. And we took over a beer garden where we all congregated. And ate most of our meals there, a lot of our meals.
That's great.
What rank were you when you got out?
T3, technically.
Is it
It's
E6?
three stripes, three stripes and a bar. And
Chevron
Did you get any parades when you came home?
three stripes
and a rocker.
But I ran the dispensary. You know, that time that guy got in that Jeep wreck? Well, I had to take care of him. The doctor was in a hotel with some woman somewhere, and we couldn't find him. The guy had taken Sam's place. He was just a young fellow. We couldn't find him. He didn't know about that till the next day. And I ran the dispensary. We were right next door to the American Red Cross. Our dispensary was a pretty nice area of town, I guess.
Yeah. They must know about parades. Were you in any parades when you got home?
What?
Parades.
Parades?
No. No parades.
What about the people that y'all found that had been killed or burnt?
Hmm?
The people that you found that had been killed or burnt in that
Oh, and
barn?
that, you know, okay, well, we came in that,
It's in the
France, French people, French
yeah,
people.
that may have been Garland. I forget the name of that town that we were by, but it